In a land of abundance, there are places where trust is scarce, and shopping, whether in bustling stores or online, feels like a distant dream. These are not desolate wastelands, but vibrant communities, each locked in a unique and often silent struggle. Here, the simple act of acquiring goods, something many of us take for granted, is transformed into an odyssey. It is a world where the click of a Buy Now button does not guarantee arrival, and a trip to the store is an expedition fraught with uncertainty. The landscape itself, from the frozen north to the sun-scorched south, conspires to make life more challenging. I invite you to join me on a journey through these remarkable cities. We will traverse vast distances and witness the extraordinary resilience of those who call these places home. We will feel the weight of their unique challenges, understanding how geography, economy, and history have woven a complex tapestry of distrust and difficulty. This is not merely a story about shopping. It is a story about survival, about community, and about the enduring human spirit in the face of persistent adversity. Together, we will explore the unseen corners of a nation, uncovering the hidden narratives of struggle and perseverance. From the icy shores of the Arctic to the remote heartlands of the continent, we will listen to the quiet stories of empty shelves, delayed deliveries, and the constant, gnawing doubt that accompanies every transaction. This is the reality for millions, a daily test of patience and hope. Let us begin. Our journey begins at the very top of the world in Utqiagvik, more commonly known as Barrow, Alaska. Here, the sun can disappear for months on end, and the land is locked in a permanent embrace of ice and snow. This is a place of profound isolation, a community clinging to the edge of the Arctic Ocean. The challenges faced by its inhabitants are as immense and unforgiving as the landscape itself. For them, shopping is not a convenience. It is a monumental test of endurance. Here at the edge of the world, shopping is a test of endurance, and trust is a rare commodity. There are no sprawling malls or superstores. A single trip for groceries can cost a small fortune, with prices inflated by the incredible expense of transporting goods to this remote outpost. A gallon of milk or a loaf of bread becomes a luxury item, its price tag a stark reminder of the immense logistical hurdles that must be overcome to sustain life in this extreme environment. The promise of online shopping, a lifeline for many in isolated areas, often proves to be a mirage. Many sellers refuse to ship to this far-flung corner of the continent, citing exorbitant costs or logistical impossibilities. Those who do ship often impose staggering fees, turning a simple purchase into a significant financial decision. The wait for a package can stretch into weeks, even months, its journey tracked with a mixture of hope and anxiety. This uncertainty breeds a deep-seated skepticism. Trust is not given freely when promises are so often broken. Residents learn to rely on what is tangible, what is already here. They depend on local knowledge, on sharing resources, and on the traditional subsistence practices of hunting and fishing that have sustained the Inupiat people for millennia. The arrival of the annual barge, a vessel laden with a year's worth of supplies, is a community event, a moment of collective relief. In this frozen realm, every transaction is a gamble. Will the package arrive? Will it be intact? Will the cost be justifiable? These are the questions that haunt the residents of Barrow. The simple act of providing for one's family becomes a complex calculation of risk, patience, and resourcefulness. It is a constant battle against distance, climate, and the cold indifference of a commercial world built for a different reality. We travel now from the frozen north to the high desert of the American Southwest to Gallup, New Mexico. Surrounded by the vast expanse of the Navajo Nation, this city serves as a commercial hub for a sprawling rural population. Yet, for many who live on the surrounding reservation lands, access to this hub is a formidable challenge. In Gallup, the distance to the nearest store is measured not in miles, but in hours and hope. For countless families, a shopping trip is not a spontaneous errand but a meticulously planned expedition. It begins with a journey of an hour, sometimes 2 or 3, over roads that can be unpaved and treacherous, especially in harsh weather. This travel requires a reliable vehicle, fuel, and an entire day set aside for the purpose of acquiring basic necessities. It is a significant investment of time and resources that many can ill afford. The digital marketplace, which promises to erase such distances, often fails to deliver. Internet access in these remote areas can be patchy and unreliable, if it exists at all. Many homes lack a physical address that delivery algorithms can recognize, creating an immediate barrier to online orders. Packages are sent to post office boxes miles away, adding another leg to an already arduous journey of retrieval. This creates a landscape ripe for exploitation. With limited local options, residents are often at the mercy of the few accessible stores, where prices can be high and selection poor. The simple act of comparison shopping, a cornerstone of consumer empowerment, is a luxury they do not have. This dependency fosters a sense of vulnerability, a feeling that one's well-being is in the hands of forces far beyond one's control. The struggle here is a quiet one, etched in the lines on the faces of those waiting to cash a check or load up a truck with supplies for the long drive home. It is a story of resilience, of making do with what is available, and of a deep, abiding hope that the journey will be worth it. In the stark beauty of the New Mexico desert, the quest for simple goods is a testament to the enduring strength of its people. We move now to the Great Plains, to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. This is a land of profound history and staggering beauty, but also one of the most economically challenged regions in the nation. Here, the struggle for access is compounded by a deep, historically rooted skepticism. The promises of the outside world have often proven hollow, and this distrust extends to the modern marketplace. Online promises rarely reach Pine Ridge, where skepticism is a way of life. The reservation spans over 2 million acres, an area larger than some states, yet it is a commercial desert. For many of the Oglala Lakota who live here, the nearest supermarket or department store is a journey of an hour or more. This geographical isolation is a formidable barrier, forcing reliance on the few, often overpriced, local options. The choice and quality that most Americans take for granted are simply not available. The digital world offers little respite. Beyond the now familiar challenges of poor internet connectivity and delivery logistics, there is a cultural barrier of distrust. Generations of broken treaties and failed government programs have cultivated a profound wariness of outside institutions, and that includes large, faceless corporations. The idea of sending money into the digital ether with only a promise of a product in return runs counter to a lifetime of experience. This skepticism is not paranoia, it is a learned survival mechanism. Stories abound of orders that never arrive, of companies that refuse to ship to the reservation, or of damaged goods that are impossible to return. Each failed transaction reinforces the belief that the modern economy is not designed for them. It is a system that seems to operate just beyond their reach, a constant reminder of their exclusion. And so, life adapts. A vibrant, informal economy thrives based on personal relationships, bartering, and community support. People rely on relatives making trips to larger towns off the reservation to bring back needed supplies. Trust is placed not in corporate logos or five-star reviews, but in the familiar faces of neighbors and kin. In Pine Ridge, the bonds of community are the most reliable currency. Our journey takes us back to the far north, to a place where the continent meets the Bering Sea, Nome, Alaska. Unlike Barrow, Nome is not shrouded in months of darkness, but its isolation is no less profound. Accessible only by air or sea, this historic gold rush town now faces a modern-day rush for basic goods. Isolation defines Nome, where the wind carries stories of empty shelves and broken trust. The rhythm of life in Nome is dictated by the seasons and the formidable power of the sea. For much of the year, the water is choked with ice, cutting off the most vital supply line. The town holds its breath, waiting for the thaw, waiting for the barges that bring the bulk of its food, fuel, and hardware. The arrival of these vessels is a lifeline, replenishing stores that have grown sparse over the long, hard winter. During these lean months, the shelves in the local stores can look alarmingly bare. The fresh produce section dwindles, and the cost of what remains climbs ever higher. Residents learn to plan, to stockpile, to make do. An unexpected delay in a shipment, whether by air or sea, can send ripples of anxiety through the community. The fragility of this supply chain is a constant underlying reality. Online shopping presents its own set of trials. The free shipping offered by so many retailers is a cruel joke here. The cost to fly a package to Nome can be several times the value of the item itself. This has given rise to a complex system of expediters in Anchorage, third-party services that consolidate purchases and find the most economical way to ship them. It's a workaround born of necessity, adding another layer of complexity and potential failure to every order. Trust in this environment is a precious and fragile thing. It is placed in the pilots who fly through treacherous weather, in the captains who navigate the icy waters, and in the community members who look out for one another. A broken promise from a distant company is more than an inconvenience. It is a breach of a fragile pact. In Nome, the search for reliability is as relentless as the wind sweeping in from the Bering Strait. We now descend into one of the hottest and driest places in North America, Yuma, Arizona. Here, the sun reigns supreme, casting a brilliant, often brutal light over the desert landscape. Yuma is a hub of agriculture, a paradox of fertility in an arid land. Yet for its residents, the search for reliable goods can feel as draining as the summer heat. In Yuma, the sun scorches the land, and the search for reliable shopping is relentless. While Yuma is not as geographically isolated as our previous stops, it faces a unique set of challenges. Its position near the borders of California and Mexico creates a complex commercial environment. For many residents, particularly those in surrounding rural communities and agricultural work camps, consistent access to quality, affordable retail is far from guaranteed. Transportation can be a significant barrier for low-income families. The extreme heat itself becomes a factor in the trust equation. Packages left on a doorstep can be ruined in minutes, their contents, from electronics to groceries to medication, cooked by the relentless sun. This forces residents to alter their lives, to wait at home for deliveries or risk losing their purchases. A delivery window is not a convenience, but a necessity. And when it's missed, the consequences can be costly. This has led to a reliance on services that offer secure delivery options, like lockers or in-store pickups. But these services are not always available or convenient, especially for those living outside the main city limits. The digital divide is also a factor, with many in the agricultural community lacking consistent internet access or the credit history needed for online transactions, pushing them toward less reliable and sometimes predatory local cash-based options. The search for trust becomes a search for shade, for a cool and safe place for commerce to happen. It's about finding a retailer who understands the unique environmental challenges, a delivery driver who will make an extra effort, or a local store that offers fair prices without demanding a long, hot journey. In the shimmering heat of the Yuma Desert, reliability is the most refreshing commodity of all. Our journey now takes us to the Rio Grande, to the bustling border city of Laredo, Texas. This is one of the nation's busiest ports of entry, a place where two cultures and economies meet. One might expect a shopper's paradise, a nexus of international trade. But for many who live here, the reality is far more complicated. Here, the border is not just a line, but a barrier to trust and convenience. Laredo's economy is overwhelmingly shaped by cross-border logistics and trade. Yet, this focus on macro commerce doesn't always translate into benefits for the local consumer. The retail landscape can be surprisingly limited for a city of its size, with options concentrated in certain areas, leaving many neighborhoods underserved. For families with limited transportation, accessing these retail centers can be a weekly struggle. The promise of online shopping collides with the realities of a border town. Delivery addresses can be confusing, and the high volume of commercial traffic can lead to residential packages being delayed, misrouted, or lost in the system. There is also a heightened concern about package theft, a problem in many cities, but one that feels more acute here, where economic disparities are stark and visible. Furthermore, a significant portion of the population has deep ties, both familial and economic, to Nuevo Laredo, just across the river in Mexico. Shopping across the border was once a common practice, offering different goods and prices. But in recent decades, increased security, long wait times at the bridge, and safety concerns have made this a less viable option. The border, once a permeable membrane, has become a harder, more imposing barrier. This creates a sense of being caught between two worlds, unable to fully access the benefits of either. Trust is eroded by lost packages, by limited local choices, and by the physical and bureaucratic walls that divide the region. Residents of Laredo must navigate a complex web of logistical challenges, searching for reliability in a city defined by transit and transition. We venture now into the heart of the Great Basin, to Elko, Nevada. This is a city built on mining and ranching, an outpost of industry in a vast high desert wilderness. From the air, it appears as an oasis of light and activity surrounded by an ocean of sagebrush. But for the families who call this place home, that isolation presents a daily challenge. Families in Elko navigate a landscape where options are few and certainty is fleeting. Elko serves a vast rural area, with ranches and small communities scattered hundreds of miles apart. For these outlying residents, a trip to town is a major undertaking, often requiring an overnight stay. The stores in Elko, while a lifeline, have a captive audience, which can lead to higher prices and more limited selections than one would find in a more competitive market. The sheer distance to the next major city, like Salt Lake or Reno, makes comparison shopping an impossibility. The boom and bust cycle of the mining industry, which is the lifeblood of the region, creates its own form of uncertainty. When the mines are thriving, the town is flush with cash, but the population swells, putting a strain on all local services, including retail. When the industry contracts, businesses can struggle, and the variety of goods can dwindle. This economic volatility makes it difficult to establish a stable and reliable commercial environment. Online shopping offers a potential escape from these limitations, but it is a flawed one. The vast distances of the Great Basin mean shipping costs are high and delivery times are long. A package destined for a remote ranch might be left at a distant post office or a designated drop-off point in town, defeating the purpose of home delivery. The final mile of the delivery journey is often the most difficult and uncertain. In this rugged landscape, trust is placed in what is known and proven. It's in the local feed store that always has what you need, in the neighbor who can lend a vital piece of equipment, or in the mail carrier who knows the unmarked roads by heart. For the people of Elko and the surrounding basin, resilience is not a choice but a necessity, forged in the vast emptiness of the American West. Our travels now take us to the middle of the Pacific Ocean, to the lush, tropical paradise of Hilo on the Big Island of Hawaii. This is a land of breathtaking beauty, of active volcanoes and cascading waterfalls. But paradise has a price. Surrounded by thousands of miles of water, the residents of Hilo are acutely aware of their isolation. On this island, the ocean is both a blessing and a barrier, making every purchase an act of faith. Everything that is not grown or made on the island must be brought in by sea or by air. This simple fact governs all commerce in Hilo. Every item on a store shelf, from a can of soup to a television, carries with it the invisible cost of its long journey across the Pacific. This paradise tax means that the cost of living is significantly higher than on the mainland, putting a constant strain on family budgets. The supply chain is long and fragile. A storm at sea, a labor dispute at a port on the West Coast, or any number of other disruptions can delay container ships for weeks. When this happens, the effects are felt almost immediately. Shelves begin to empty, and a sense of anxiety spreads through the community. Residents have a name for this feeling: rock fever, the psychological stress of being isolated on an island. Online shopping seems like a modern solution, but it often amplifies the problem. Many mainland companies, unaccustomed to the logistics of shipping to Hawaii, either refuse to do so or charge astronomical fees. The dreaded "does not ship to Hawaii" message is a common source of frustration. Even when a company does ship, the transit times can be incredibly long, and the risk of damage on the long sea voyage is high. Trust, therefore, becomes a highly localized commodity. It is placed in the local farmers who provide fresh produce, in the fishermen who bring in the daily catch, and in the small business owners who understand the unique challenges of island life. For the people of Hilo, every transaction is a reminder of their dependence on the vast, unpredictable ocean, and a testament to their ability to thrive in a beautiful but isolated world. We journey now to the heart of the Mississippi Delta, to Clarksdale. This is a place steeped in history and culture, widely regarded as the birthplace of the blues. The haunting melodies that emerged from this soil spoke of hardship, struggle, and a deep yearning for something more. Today, that same feeling can be found in the town's commercial landscape. In Clarksdale, the blues echo in empty storefronts and unreliable deliveries. Clarksdale exists in a region that has faced decades of economic decline and depopulation. Once a thriving cotton hub, the town now bears the scars of that departure. Boarded-up buildings line what were once bustling commercial streets. For residents, particularly those in the most impoverished neighborhoods, the options for local shopping are severely limited. Food deserts, areas without access to affordable, fresh groceries, are a stark reality. This lack of local options forces residents to travel to larger towns, a difficult proposition for the many households without reliable transportation. The dependency on a few discount chains and convenience stores means a lack of choice and often lower quality goods. The vibrant, diverse marketplace that a community needs to thrive has, in many parts of town, faded away. The digital world, which should be a great equalizer, often fails to bridge the gap. A significant portion of the population lacks reliable broadband internet or the financial tools, like credit cards or bank accounts, necessary for e-commerce. For those who can order online, the same issues of package theft and unreliable delivery services that plague many low-income areas are prevalent here, breeding distrust in the system. The struggle in Clarksdale is a quiet, persistent one. It's the story of a grandmother trying to find fresh vegetables for her family, of a young person unable to order a textbook for school, of a community with a rich cultural soul trapped in a body of economic neglect. The hope for a better tomorrow, a recurring theme in the blues, is a hope for a day when the promises of the modern marketplace finally reach the Mississippi Delta. Our final destination lies in the windswept plains of western North Dakota, in the city of Williston. In the last decade, this once quiet agricultural town became the epicenter of an enormous oil boom, transforming it almost overnight. But this sudden explosive growth brought with it a unique form of commercial chaos and a profound sense of instability. Here the vast plains stretch endlessly, and the search for trust in shopping continues. The Bakken oil boom brought a massive influx of workers and money, but the city's infrastructure, including its retail capacity, could not keep pace. The population swelled, overwhelming the handful of existing stores. This created a situation of chronic shortages. It was not uncommon for grocery store shelves to be stripped bare hours after being stocked. The sheer number of people created a frantic, competitive shopping environment. For longtime residents, the boom was a disorienting experience. Prices for everything, from housing to a gallon of milk, skyrocketed due to the intense demand. The quiet, predictable life they knew was replaced by a constant state of flux. New stores and services were slow to arrive, leaving the overwhelmed existing businesses to cope with an unprecedented surge in customers. Online shopping became an essential lifeline, but it was strained to its limits. The influx of new residents, many living in temporary housing, RV parks, or man camps with non-standard addresses, created a logistical nightmare for delivery companies. Mail rooms were overwhelmed, and packages were frequently lost or severely delayed. The transient nature of the workforce made it difficult to establish the patterns and reliability that delivery networks depend on. Now, as the boom has tempered, a new uncertainty has set in. The city is left to find its new equilibrium. Some of the expanded services remain, but the future is unclear. This history of rapid change, of scarcity amidst abundance, and of logistical collapse has left a lasting mark. In Williston, residents have learned that prosperity does not automatically translate to convenience or reliability, and trust in the stability of the marketplace is something that must be rebuilt, one transaction at a time. From the Arctic ice to the southern deserts, from the isolated islands to the continental heartland, we have witnessed a common thread. It is the story of a struggle not for luxury, but for the basic dignities of modern life. It is the quiet, daily battle for access, for reliability, and for a simple measure of trust in a system that so many of us take for granted. The challenges are as diverse as the landscapes themselves, yet the human response is universal: resilience. In these cities, the simple act of shopping becomes a journey, one marked by uncertainty, resilience, and hope for a better tomorrow. It reveals the unseen fractures in our interconnected world, the places where the digital promises fade and the tyranny of distance and disadvantage reasserts itself. The people we have met on this journey are not merely consumers, they are pioneers, problem solvers, and community builders, forging their own paths in a world not built for their convenience. Their story is a powerful reminder that behind every transaction, every delivery, and every empty shelf, there is a human life. It is a testament to the strength required to persevere when trust is scarce and the journey for simple goods is an odyssey. As we leave these remarkable places, we carry with us a deeper understanding of the diverse and often challenging tapestry of a nation and the enduring spirit of those who call its most difficult corners home.